Dear friends, it's good to start a moment like this assembly of friends from many places with a welcome. And I want to speak that welcome not just from me, but on behalf of all of us, for each other. So each of us makes a journey to get to this place, to this moment. We arrange many things, rearrange many things, pick some things up, put some things down. And we arrive here ourselves with our bodies. And so the first welcome we have is there, a welcome to our body. Dear body, welcome to the retreat. And again, that welcome is, right, from me for my body, you for your body, but from each one of us to each other's bodies. Welcome. We also come here with all of our stories, the stories that we carry around with us each day and that we tell, sometimes over and over again. Sometimes we're just making it up as we go along, but we're telling some story. And we come here with those too. And the print, the mark, the memories of those stories, we bring them. And welcome to all of that. To all the parts of us that are feeling wonderful, and all the parts of us that are not feeling so great. Breathing in and breathing out. Welcome to all of my stories. Welcome to all of your stories. To our stories. So our bodies are here, our hearts and our minds and all that activity and all we carry, that's here. And through us, through our presence here in the retreat, we can also welcome our mothers and our fathers and our grandmothers and grandfathers. This is not just 35, 36 people in a room here. There are multitudes present. Each one of us brings so many. And all of our mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers have the opportunity to practice tonight, tomorrow, and the next few days, together with the community, as part of the community, through us. And this is a wonderful spirit of our practice. That we come here ourselves as an individual, as a unique, beautiful manifestation. But we are not separate from these lineages of humanity which are streaming through us into the world. So we are here on retreat ourselves, but we are also on retreat as our ancestors. Learning and growing and practicing and healing and changing, right? That's so wonderful. Welcome to all the families, all the ancestors, and all the generations that we bring with us. So I would like to begin the retreat by inviting the sounds of the bell and by chanting the gathas, the poems for inviting and listening to the bell. And I hope that you will take the invitation to listen and to receive these sounds as a kind of a celebration of the beginning of the retreat together, but not just receive them yourself. Let your mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers receive that too. And the sound of the bell and the chant of my voice will move through this space, will move through you as vibration, and can touch you on the level of your body, but also can move into your heart and your mind space. And the meaning of the chant is very simple. It's a prayer for well-being, a wish for well-being that reaches out into the cosmos across space and time, right? It is a continuation of this welcome. And so breathing in and breathing out, that means to be aware of the in-breath and the out-breath as they happen. And in that space of awareness, to feel the sounds, the vibrations of the chant and the bell moving through you. And let these prayers move and carry you into a connection with yourself here in this moment, and in this moment here, through you, all those generations practicing together. Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May the hearers waken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. I listen, and this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. I listen, and this wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. May the sound of the bell reach deeply into the cosmos. In even the darkest places, may beings hear it clearly. so that understanding lights up their hearts, they may realize awakening and find their way home. I listen, and I feel my afflictions begin to dissolve. My mind calm, my body relaxed. A smile is born upon my lips. Following the sound of the bell, my breath guides me back to the safe island of mindfulness. And in the garden of my heart, a flower of peace blooms beautifully. Thank you for practicing so solidly, beautifully with the bell chants. So a retreat like this is designed to give us supportive conditions to do the things that we do every day in our lives, but to do them with full awareness and to train and to practice in that. And so the schedule of the day moves slowly, with a little bit of time given for a number of different things. And we do practice sitting meditations, but we don't only practice sitting meditations. We practice walking, we practice speaking and listening with one another. We practice eating. We practice resting. Yeah, to practice resting, it's different than crashing out. And all the things that are a part of our daily life anyway, but we are taking time, more time than usual, for most of us, to drop deeply into those moments. The basis for our practice we call present moment awareness, mindfulness, being mindful. Yeah. And so if we are able to have present moment awareness in whatever activity we are in, right, then we have the opportunity to experience that activity fully. And to open that part of ourselves, which we call the mindfulness or this awareness, it's not very hard. Perhaps the most difficult aspect is that we go past it, usually, with our busyness and our running. So the effort that we give primarily to dropping into this awareness is a slowing down, a letting go, a releasing. Because most of us are moving pretty fast inside. Even if we sit still in front of a computer or something all day long, we're still moving really fast inside. And so a lot of the practice that we are doing is about calming. We call this shamatha, stopping. Stopping the running in the mind, stopping the running with the mouth, which are very much the same thing. And stopping the running in the body. It doesn't mean stopping as in not doing it. It means not running anymore. Of course, your body is still operating and still alive and doing what it needs to do. And our mind is still going to think. Thinking is a very powerful part of being a human being. We don't just turn it off, but we learn how to think beautifully, clearly, and intentionally, and not just run around with random trains. Yeah. So, calming, resting, slowing down is a big part of what we do, especially in the beginnings of a retreat. It's really helpful if you can find a kind of an anchor for your practice of slowing down, of calming. A particular place to turn your attention to. Most of us, actually I shouldn't assume that. Many of us use our breath. And the breath is something wonderful in terms of present moment awareness because we only breathe right now. We can't breathe in the past, and I'm sorry to predict for you, but you will not ever be breathing in the future. It sounds dire, but it's true. We can't breathe in the future. We can only breathe now. And so when we bring our awareness to breath, we are turning our awareness towards now. We also don't breathe out there until we get into deep looking practice. We don't breathe out there, we breathe right here. We breathe right in the very heart of our bodies. And our breath actually can be a massage and a movement right into all the way through the trunk of our bodies. And so it's a wonderful threshold or gateway, if you will, to move through, to travel in the direction of present moment awareness. And if we're attentive to what's happening in the in-breath and the out-breath, if we're attentive to the here and the now of breathing, right? We're very close to present moment awareness. And when we stay there with the breath moving in and out, we develop a zone of awareness, the beginnings of mindfulness, radiating out from this space of breathing, this moment of breathing, radiating out, that can hold us, embrace the experience that's happening. I liken it to a candle flame. So my mindfulness in my conscious breathing is like having a candle in the heart of my body. And the light of the candle, it radiates out in all directions. And it can like fill up all the cells of my body. And it creates a zone, an area of light and warmth, a candle's flame would. And my awareness is like that too. Yeah. And when we get solid in that, and when we're established in that awareness of the present moment right here and right now, it doesn't just have to be of ourselves. We can also open that awareness to the person in front of us, or to the side of us, or to a whole room full of people. And then we could bring it back in, right? This is our practice. We get to have this awesome power of awareness that we can learn to hold ourselves with clarity, with gentleness, with loving kindness in the space of our body, or to hold the words of a friend and their heart and their experience as they share with us, right? And even to extend wide and to hold the whole planet. But it's not a kind of an imagination. It's an exercise of our mindfulness and the energy of mindfulness. And it's a part of who we are as a human being, to have a centered point of awareness. And it starts here and now. And then we can grow it out slowly. So it's still now, but it's not necessarily just here. Here becomes bigger, right? Don't worry about that part yet. We're at the beginning of the retreat. Just stay close. Come home. Hold, embrace, cradle the experience of just being right here in this moment in your body, breathing in and out with full awareness. And the in-breath gathers that loving, warm light of awareness in. And the out-breath lets fall away everything we don't need. The tension and the stress that we've been carrying around, we don't need it right now. We have so many supportive conditions around us, we can let go of that. The journey to get here, all the things you had to arrange and put in place so that you could have 4 or 5 days to have nowhere to go and nothing to do, right? You had to do a whole lot to get there. All of that, you can let that go. The people that you care for, that you feel a sense of obligation or deep desire to support and love, and all that energy of giving and serving. In this moment, we don't need to do that. We can let that go and just settle in. Our out-breath can help carry that tension away, let it fall away. Like leaves on the trees, right? Your out-breath is the wind, the autumn wind. And the leaves being blown off your branches are the stress and the worry. So I don't know about you, but when I let go of tension, when I let go of stress, it feels good. And I learned through the practice to celebrate that good feeling. It's actually quite pleasant. It's actually very enjoyable to release tension and stress. So if you can invite that experience in, or at least think about maybe having some of that experience, it can be really quite nice. Now, our suffering is important, and we pay a lot of attention to it. I'm not saying that, but we don't need to always suffer. Like, it can be very pleasant to just have an out-breath that's like, oh, I don't have to go answer any emails. I don't have to be busy doing any dishes. There's a catering crew here that's going to do that, right? Right? You can let go of those worries, those stresses, those obligations, and it feels good. Joy and ease are two of the most important factors of awakening in the Buddhist teaching. Right? Joy and ease. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Yeah. It's not dishonoring your suffering. It's not denying it. It's not pushing away the harsh realities of the world. It's accepting that there is more than that in the world. It's opening ourselves to touch our joy, to touch our shared joy. So, not just in your in and out breath, but tune into your senses, what you see, right? What you actually see in the moment. Not what you imagine you see, but what you actually see with your eyes in the moment. The colors, the forms, the shapes. What you actually hear each day that you're here. What you actually smell. Taste. You taste it? There is a taste in the mouth right now. I hope it's okay. But it's there. Right? Right? That's happening right here, right now. That smell, that scent, that fragrance, the colors, the forms, the sounds, the vibrations, the sense of contact that you have with the body, whether you feel warm or cool, or you feel the strain in the muscle in your calf because you've been sitting in an awkward position for too long, right? These are sensations of the present moment. And when we are tuning into the moment, we get to experience them. And so many of the things that we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch are marvelous, amazing, wonders of life, precious. And if we're there, if we're here, we get to receive that nourishment. And that is enjoyable. We call this the practice of watering seeds of joy and happiness, right? Really noticing and celebrating. So, when Tai, our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, introduced practice of listening to the bell, he would always say, when you hear the sound of the bell, practice shamatha, stopping, resting, stop moving your body, stop running in your mind, stop talking if you're talking. Just come back to breath and the present moment for at least 3 breaths, maybe 4 or 5 or 6. Right? That is to enjoy the present moment for 3, 4, 5, 6 breaths. Well, if you practice breathing in and out 3 or 4 times, that's going to take you at least 20 seconds. It's not a long time, but it's at least 20 seconds. Maybe it's 30, and depending on your breath, some of us, that's a very long time. But it's at least that. And there's a very interesting thing that happens after about 20 to 30 seconds of being present with something, which is that our neurobiology registers that experience as important. and transfers it to what you might call your long-term memory. It marks it. This is important. This needs to be a part of who and what I am and what is important to me. That's what happens. I found that really fascinating when I learned that, the timing of that. Yeah. But you do notice it. After about 3 or 4 breaths of listening to the sound of the bell, there can be a deeper settling in that happens. And if you do it many, many times, then that gets easier and easier. But it means that the listening to the sound of the bell, which is to stop running and to come back and touch your life deeply in that moment, is important. And you're training yourself to see that as important. Do that also with every little beautiful thing that you see this weekend. With every moment where you experience any joy or connection or are enlivened by something. You might step out under the sky tonight and look up and be like, oh, look at the stars, right? And you see that sky with stars. I don't know, maybe it's very cloudy out and it won't happen, but you might look up and see the stars in the sky. And you might say, oh, they're so beautiful, cool. And you just walk on. That didn't get a chance to become important. So stop. Take 3, 4 breaths. Take that 20, 30, 40 seconds to really let the beauty of the immense sky full of stars become important. Become a part of who you are. This is the training of watering the seeds of joy and happiness, of connecting deeply with life and allowing the wonder and the beauty to have a chance inside of us, right? To become a resource for us and for those whom we love. Please do this practice, because the alternative is that your busyness, your distraction, and your suffering are getting all that important placement. Right? Yeah. If we spend all our time always focusing on what's hard and what's difficult, then that becomes important. And pretty soon we have no resource of joy and happiness left. Yeah. Probably all of us have fallen into that at one time or another, or maybe many times. Yeah. So the retreat is an opportunity for us, because we have the time and space and supportive conditions to allow this kind of wholesome seed watering to happen. Yeah. My dearest partner and love in life, Fern, and I have developed a way of expressing a simple image for the practice of mindfulness, the practice of meditation in our daily life, which is that there are kind of 2 arms of this, and one arm is what I just described to you. It's the practice of watering the seeds of joy and happiness, the seeds of peace and well-being. And the other arm, and you need both, is the practice of taking care of the seeds of suffering. Right? Not just following them, not just spending time with them, but spending a particular kind of time with them, which is to wrap them up in our mindfulness, with our loving kindness, with our peacefulness, right? To hold them, to understand them, to look deeply into them, to transform the experience of the suffering, like you transform compost into vegetables and flowers, right? So One arm of the practice is watering seeds of joy and happiness and well-being, and the other is another kind of well-being, that it's taking care of the places that hurt. Not running away from them, not escalating them, but just being with them. Think about the suffering in your body and the suffering in your mind as if it were a friend of yours, someone you love and care for, and you're going to take the time to listen to them. You're going to take the time to hold their hand and walk with them. You're going to take the time to breathe with them when they need to cry, right? We are that person too, right? And we need that kind of care too. And we can learn in our practice to give ourselves that kind of presence, that healing presence of awareness. Yeah. So there's these two arms of the practice. This is actually an image of the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism, right? The first two noble truths are that there can be suffering. In any moment of your life, there might be the manifestation of suffering, and that it has reasons why it's there. The causes of the suffering, they're there, right? And so there's a practice of taking care of that suffering and understanding that suffering, right? And that's the one arm of the practice. And then the third and the fourth noble truth are that there is the possibility of well-being in a moment of life, and that there are reasons why that might happen. There's a path to that well-being, and that you are going to cultivate and walk that path. Yeah. So our practice needs this wide perspective and the capacity to do both of these things. Diligence in Buddhism is defined as this. To be diligent in your practice in Buddhism is defined as not showing up in the meditation hall every single day and, clocking hours in meditation and all this kind and practice and retreats. That's a kind of diligence. But the definition of diligence in the Buddhist teaching is when seed of suffering arises, being able to take care of it and help it to go back to rest. And when it's not there, right, supporting conditions that don't escalate it, don't wake it up, right? On the one hand, when a seed of joy is there, nourish it. When a seed of happiness is there, nourish it. Keep it alive. And when it's not there, learn how to wake it up. That's the definition of diligence. It's interesting. Yeah. So I want to share these things at the beginning of the retreat as kind of leading thoughts, or a kind of a general framework or template that you can carry with you in a moment of practice and check in. So while you're breathing, while you're walking, while you're in an activity of the retreat, you can check in, like, hey, where is my happiness now? Right? And see if you can open to that possibility. You can check in, is there suffering in me now? Does it need to be held? Can I embrace that? Yeah. And that happiness or that suffering might manifest in your mind. It might manifest in emotions. It might manifest in your body. And we bring our mindfulness and our embrace to any layer of our being like that. It also might happen in the room around you. And that's another zone that we can practice mindful awareness in. Be aware of our own bodies and our own hearts and minds, but we can also be aware of the bodies and hearts and minds of friends around us. So I mentioned that it can be helpful to have an anchor, a kind of a reference point, something you can return to again and again. And that for many of us, that is breathing. It might be your footsteps also can be another wonderful anchor. Last night I encouraged the organizing committee of the retreat to pay attention to their footsteps, so that we can really, as we move from here to the bathroom or here to the dining area or here to our rooms or wherever we are walking, not just the time of walking meditation formal practice, but the walking we do in between. These can be moments where we also are arriving deeply, present in our body and mind, stopping the running, stopping the striving, stopping the longing, coming home to the moment deeply and feeling our feet on the floor, feeling our feet touching Mother Earth beneath us. Being upright as a human being is a really fascinating thing. I gotta do it. When I stand upright, I can let my awareness settle and relax and drop through my body down into the earth. And right now, I have a relationship in this intentional verticality. I have a relationship to the center of the planet. The experience of weight, right? Gravity and weight. It's not something just happens, randomly here. This is right to the core of the planet. In a way, I'm an extension of this experience of the whole planet. Like I'm lifting myself out of that space. Wow. I love that awareness. And when we walk, we're walking in that relationship as part of Mother Earth, as part of the planet, right? Usually, we walk around like, oh, I got to get from here to there. Oh, right. Or, I'm in my mind already there, and my body's trying to catch up with the thing I'm busy with, right? But to practice walking as a meditation is to have that sense of dropping in. And where am I really? Well, you are on Mother Earth, right? I am standing on Mother Earth. I'm walking on Mother Earth. I am a part of this cosmic experience, right? It's not less than that, right? This is not woo-woo stuff. This is real. You are part of this cosmic experience, right? And I'm walking on Earth, and I can settle into my footsteps and feel each one. And feel the solidity, feel the belonging, feel the home that I have, right? I'm not just me running around busy, stressed out, and worried. I'm a part of this miracle. Yeah. So breath and steps, ground, become anchors, become a way of touching life deeply right here, right now. Please practice walking meditation. There are wonderful words that you can use also to help anchor you. If your mind is very busy and likes to run around, it's very sharp, quick, talented. I can practice conscious breathing and tell myself stories. Because the breath goes kind of slow, and my mind can go really fast. There's a very simple meditation technique that comes with following the breath, which is counting the breath. And many of us have heard of this or practiced it. And you breathe in, you count 1. You breathe out, you count 1. You breathe in, you count 2. Breathe out, you count 2. And when you first start this, it's really cool. But you do this for a week or 2 or 3, and pretty soon you can count no problem to 10 and then backwards again and keep track of every breath and plan your vacation. Right? And so the mind is this capacity to do complex things and bounce back and forth and keep track of stuff. So to really calm the mind down, I have found really helpful to give it something to think about. Give it something to think about that brings you in the direction of present moment. And the Buddha offered this also as advice. He said, breathing in, know that you're breathing in what? Is it short breath? Is it a long breath? Is it a deep, slow breath? Is it a little gasp? Is it a yawn? Like, pay attention and be aware of that. Let your mind sort of, oh, this is what's happening in the breath right now. If your mind needs to tell a story about what's happening, right? Or you can offer poems which help ground you. And we have those in the form of songs in Plum Village tradition, lots of them. Like, I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I am solid, I am free, I am solid, I am free. In the ultimate I dwell, in the ultimate I dwell. Yeah, that is a walking meditation poem that Thai Thich Nhat Hanh wrote for the practice of walking. And so it gives your mind something to do that has to do with the practice. It's wonderful. That can also be a kind of an anchor. Oh, I have arrived. I am home. Arrived and home. And those words, those thoughts get to be embodied. You feel them, you do them, you become them. You and your object of meditation become one, right? And this thinking becomes part of your meditation. So this part of us, which is usually running around randomly, now becomes intentional and clear and focused. I have arrived. I am home. And I say those words to myself while I walk and while I breathe. Yeah. And then you switch after a minute in the here and in the now. It's like an answer to, like, where have I arrived? In the here. When? Now, right? In the here, in the now. And then the third line of the song, I feel solid, I feel free. I think the words I am solid, but, right? You experience solidity. In this moment, I feel solidity. While I breathe in, and I feel freedom. While I breathe out, I experience solidity and freedom. And the last line, in the ultimate, I dwell. And I'm going to leave that as a little bit of a mystery for you tonight. In the ultimate, I dwell. If we touch the present moment deeply, truly, fully, we find all of the past in it. We see all that unfolds forward into the future from it. That's what that last line is aiming towards. So our words can also be a kind of anchor if our words are careful, are clear and intentional, right? Our thoughts, our inner thinking, our inner speaking. And if our mind is running, if your mind is running a lot, you might like the practice of using the poems, the songs. And on the song sheet, I believe, for those of you who aren't familiar with them, right? They're in here, aren't they? I have arrived, I'm home. Yep, number 14, that's there. And so you don't need to know the melody, you can just use the words. Right. Another one which is really good is number 9 on the sheet, which is breathing in and breathing out. I'm blooming as a flower, I'm fresh as the dew, I'm solid as a mountain, I'm firm as the earth, I'm free. I'm water reflecting what is real, what is true. I feel there is space in me, I'm free. Like words like this, you use them for your practice. Yeah. So please don't limit yourself to just singing the songs before walking meditation, but take those words and work with them. They can really ground us. Yeah. So we have 2 arms of the practice. We have anchors in the practice. Methods. These are methods that we are going to decide we're going to use them, we're going to turn to. And I think it's helpful if you, at least for a day, but maybe for the whole retreat, just kind of set an intention to lean on a particular anchor and train in it, hold it, and stay with it. So it becomes important, right? And natural and easy. So you might choose your breath. Okay, anytime my mind is running away, I'm going to come back to breathing. Anytime I feel myself lost in emotion, I'm going to use breath as an anchor to keep me grounded while I'm present with my emotion, right? You're going to use breath. Or you might use your footsteps, or you might use your eyes and what you are seeing in this moment. I know a lot of people who use contact with the body. So they will reach out and touch something and be like, okay, I'm here. This is solid, this is real. I know there's turmoil inside me carrying me away, but this is real. Mm-hmm. I first learned that from a brother when I was new in the monastery, and I was sitting next to him at the dining table. And we'd both finished eating, and it was still silent. And I saw him, he had his hands on the table, on the bottom of the table. He was pressed up against the wood of the table. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm grounding myself. I feel a lot of emotion right now. But he needed to hold something. This is solid in this moment. This was real, and he needed that sensation, right? To feel, not to get lost in the emotion. So that was an anchor for him in that moment. His present moment senses. Yeah. So you have your 2 arms, and you have your anchors in practice. And the last little thing I want to invite you into for the retreat is to trust the practice. The instructions of the practice are really quite simple and clear, right? Like, breathe in and breathe out. Walk. Set your mind in the intention of peaceful walking and do that walking. When an emotion comes up, breathe in with it, hold it tenderly. When there's an opportunity for joy, water that seed of joy, celebrate it with a smile and some time, right? simple instructions. Trust the Dharma. Don't trust your habit energy, which is the part that says, I don't want to do that right now. I'd rather focus on this other thing, which is really important to me, and that I've learned very well how to do over and over and over again in the course of my life, right? We all have habit energy. We all have patterns of behavior in our thinking, in our emotional life, in our bodies especially, right? And we have these things, and they run automatically. And the Dharma practice is a little different. It's like setting these intentions and clarity. It's coming into a place of not knowing and exploring and learning and growing, not running on habit energy and assumptions, and especially on pride and the I know best. I benefit a lot in my practice when I really don't know best. And when I open myself with the support of Dharma practice to a new and fresh experience in any moment of my day. Yeah. So trust the Dharma, trust the practice. One of the most beautiful ways to do that on a retreat is to begin to open your heart and trust the community of practice that's around you. And I mean this as an inner gesture more than like pulling someone aside and bearing your soul and the deep stories of your life to them, but more as an inner gesture of like, be aware that around you are friends in the practice who also carry these seeds of happiness, these seeds of suffering, and a deep aspiration to live beautifully and consciously and with understanding and love. And you can lean into that. Trust the Sangha, the community around you. So when you open your eyes and you see people practicing walking meditation, like, oh, thank you, dear friends, for reminding me to walk peacefully and walk beautifully. Right? When you walk into the meditation hall and everyone's sitting quietly and you go, thank you, dear friends, for helping me to let go of my busy, rushing mind and settle down. And lean into the presence of the community around you. We don't have to do it alone. We don't have to forge our way against the current all by ourselves. I want to do deep relaxation with you. Yeah. It's like arrival night. It's a good night to do deep relaxation. So deep relaxation practice, you can do sitting if you want. If you're comfortable and you have means, you could also lie down. And we have a ton of room in here. So we don't need to like worry about how we're going to arrange this. We can just do it. And that's kind of nice. In a retreat I was just on in Massachusetts 2 weeks ago, we were so tight in a space that we had to line people up like literally shoulder to shoulder in a perfect way, or not everybody could fit. This is really nice. So if you sit, choose a place to sit on a chair or to be comfortable, it's okay. And if you'd like to lie down, find a way to lie down. And I'll use the bell and my words to offer a guided body relaxation, a body scan. And I'll sing to you a little bit to put you to sleep. And for everybody lying down, I think that we should turn down the lights a little. Don't you love dimmer switches? So as you settle in, become aware of the sensations in your body in contact with the floor. Or if you're on a chair, with the chair and the floor. In our body, we have the experience of weight. Weight means that the cells of the body are being pulled towards the planet, into Mother Earth. She's holding us, keeping us close. And this is a moment where we can let go into that. Allow ourselves to be held, to be supported. That's an energy of openness and softening in the heart. And let that signal spread out through your whole body. Breathing in and breathing out. I send a message of ease and relaxation throughout my body. I invite my body to relax and to release all the little places here and there where tension is being held and stored, where busyness and striving and hard work have been pressed into the cells. Let them soften. Let them open. Let the worry and the anxiety fall away. And I'd like to invite you to move your awareness, to send it to the different parts of the body, different areas. And we'll start with the head and the face. So breathing in, I draw my awareness and my in-breath up into my head and face. And breathing out, I release and relax any tension in the muscles and tissues of my head and my face. Aware of my eyes, the organ of my eyes and the spaces around my eyes, and the hundreds and hundreds of muscles that are all around my eyes. I feel them all there with my awareness, and I invite them to relax, to be at ease. I'm aware of my forehead, the bones of my skull, and the skin of my forehead and on my scalp, and my hair. I'm aware of my brain cradled in my skull. I'm aware of my ears on the sides of my head, the outer ear and the inner ear, left and right. Sending my awareness forward to my face, I'm aware of my nose and my nasal cavity. I'm aware of my mouth and my jaw, my gums and my teeth, my tongue, my lips and my chin, my throat and my neck. You might even like to move your head in little tiny circles so that you can feel the top of your spinal column, the base of your skull. Or even bring one hand up and press your fingers into that place where your skull and your spine connect. And just feel there and massage there just a little bit. Make sure that there's relaxation and ease there so that your nervous system can communicate easily with the rest of your body. And now we're going to send that signal, that message of relaxation to all these other parts of the body too. As if you were pouring water into a glass, imagine your awareness flowing down across your left shoulder and down into your left arm, and filling up your arm from your hand and fingers all the way up to your shoulder with awareness. There are bones, there are muscles, tendons, there are veins and nerves, there's skin and layers of skin. Filling up the arm and the hand with awareness and inviting relaxation. Breathing in, I'm aware of my left arm and hand. Breathing out, I relax and release. Aware of my arm, relaxing my arm. And now make a conscious shift to move awareness from the left side over to the right. And again, send that message, that signal of awareness, of light and warmth, and fill up your right shoulder and arm and hand and fingers. Breathing in, I'm aware of my right arm and hand. Breathing out, I relax. Bones, muscles, tendons, tissues, blood, veins, nerves. Aware of my arm, relaxing my arm. Now with the next breathings in and out, drawing awareness back into the center of the body, the trunk of the body, and filling up the chest spaces. Aware of the lungs themselves, breathing in, expanding and opening, and breathing out, softening, collapsing, resting. The rib cage around the lungs. The back, the mid and upper back. Sending awareness and relaxation to all those bones and muscles. And then cradled in the two arms of our lungs, our heart. See if you can find your heart with awareness. Breathing in, feeling my heart and my chest. Breathing out, inviting calm and rest. Aware of my heart, relaxing my heart. Now dropping awareness down into the abdomen, the abdominal organs, the whole digestive system, the stomach, the intestines, the kidneys and bladders and spleen and the large intestine and the colon. Breathing in, aware of my digestive system. Breathing out, inviting any release of tension or stress held in the muscles or the tissues in and around the belly. And sending awareness down into the pelvic area and the hips, aware of reproductive organs and the buttocks. And then as we did with the arms, letting awareness go down through the legs, the left leg, through the hip and thigh, the left knee, the shin and calf, ankle and heel, foot and toes. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole left leg and foot. Breathing out, I release and relax. And I invite the tissues on the sole of my foot, to become soft and porous. Almost as if I could feel the stress and tension that I've been carrying and walking with. Breathing into my leg and breathing out, flowing right down and out through the soles of my feet, back into the earth. Breathing in, aware of my leg. Breathing out, relaxing my leg. And now shifting awareness from the left side over to the right. So I got to draw it back up into my belly. And now send that awareness down through the right hip into the right thigh and knee, shin and calf, ankle and heel, foot and toes. Breathing in, I'm aware of my right leg. And breathing out, I relax. Softening the sole of the foot and letting tension wash away. Now, with my next few breathings, I draw my awareness back up to the trunk of the body, the center of my body, and I let it radiate out to fill my whole body. Awareness reaching down through hips and legs to feet, up and out through shoulders, arms, and hands, and up through the neck to the head and face. Breathing in, I'm aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I relax my whole body. Aware of my body, relaxing my body. And I feel the weight of my body settling into Mother Earth, holding me, embracing me, supporting me. Listen, I will teach you what is meant by knowing the better way to live alone. Do not pursue the past. Do not lose yourself in the future. The past no longer is, and the future has not yet come. Oh, look deeply at life just as it is, arising in the very here and now. Recognize it, invincible, unshakable. Care for it with your heart and with your mind. We must be diligent today. To wait till tomorrow is too late, for death comes unexpectedly. And how can we bargain with it? The sage calls one who knows how to dwell in mindfulness night and day. The one who knows the better way to live alone. Breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine, and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. We're going to change key here. Breathing in, I go back to the island within myself. There are beautiful trees within the island. There are clear streams of water. There are birds, sunshine, and fresh air. Breathing out, I feel safe. I enjoy going back to my island. my island. With care and intention, you might like to wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe your ears and your nose, if you can wiggle your ears. Scrunch up your lips and your eyes and begin to feel what it's like to move your body in very conscious, gentle ways. Lengthen one leg and another. Shift your hips a little bit, roll your shoulders and your head a little. You might pick your knees up so your feet are flat on the floor, releasing the low back. But don't do any more than, just kind of curling up and resting for another minute, paying attention as you begin to move your body. What a gift it is to take 20 minutes to send loving awareness to the body and to receive the gift of our own awareness. What a treat. And returning to that intention we set at the very beginning, remember that your mother and your father are receiving that love and that care. Maybe a kind of healing awareness that they never knew in their own bodies, but now in me, they get to relax like that. My grandmothers and grandfathers, these cells of my body are their continuation. Oh, how wonderful. They are so happy right now that you have taken up this practice and they get to finally, after generations of struggle, learn how to rest, learn how to care, learn how to receive. Thank you, dear Sangha, for practicing together tonight. We continue our noble silence practice and gently move through our time together. You can check the schedule for awareness of when to wake up and be present for our morning sitting meditation. And I hope that everyone can rest well and get some good sleep tonight. And that this journey we've made to arrive together on retreat can be really let go of. And tomorrow morning we're able to wake up fresh together. I will invite the small sounds of the bell in just a moment, so get ready to stand. The first one is inviting us to stand right where we are. The second sound is inviting us to offer a bow of thanks and gratitude to all of us assembled, to the Sangha, right? So we kind of face the middle of the room to do that, symbolically bowing to everyone present. And then we turn towards our altar, and we have a second bow, a third sound of the bell, to offer a moment of gratitude and awareness for our spiritual teachers and spiritual ancestors, those wondrous beings who have shown us the path of understanding and love. After we do that, it would be appreciated if you could take a moment to help reset, mindfully and slowly, the seating in 4 rows for sitting meditation tomorrow, as we began, the arrangement we began in.